From each happily ever after, every wish upon a star. Let's break down the movies that shaped who we are. From memory lane to now and everything in between. The most famous of films to the ones we've never seen. Decade by decade, all the times we laughed and cried. And with a little pixie dust, they will all take flight. Reliving the feelings, and we're trying our very best. And if they mean the same to you, please be our guest. So hop aboard, we would love to have you as we hang with a certain mouth, the whole gang too. If you love nostalgia stuff, we hope this does the trick. Thanks for joining us as we dive the magic.
Hi, and welcome back to the Deep Diving the Magic podcast. I'm KJ.
And I'm Jeffrey. And on today's episode, we are diving into the 9th Disney feature full-length movie called The Three Caballeros. The Three Caballeros was released in the U.S. on February 3rd, 1945, which is actually a few months after it premiered in Mexico City. We are back with another Latin America goodwill film. Honestly, in my opinion, a better one than the last one, but we'll get there on that. This film mixes live action and animation. But before we dive too deep, let's go ahead and talk about the synopsis that we got going on over here.
All right, so synopsis is Donald receives his birthday gifts, which include traditional gifts and information about Brazil and Mexico. And it has some of the characters' names, but we'll get into that in a minute.
So, any thoughts on this before we start to dissect?
I agree with you. I liked it better than the other one.
Yeah, it's definitely cute.
Yeah.
So, I have very vivid memories of this film from my childhood, especially the donkey and penguin scenes, which we'll touch on. I have vivid memories of watching this in my parents' basement, probably this exact VHS tape right here, honestly. And I do. What was that?
Said probably.
Yeah, and I do still think that it holds up to this day. It is on Disney Plus. There is a warning on Disney Plus, which is a lot like we've discussed already. Anything you wanted to say, or do you want me to go ahead and just dive right into the actual breaking it down?
Unlike you, I did not watch this movie as a child. If I did, I really don't remember any of it.
Missed out.
I have no recollection.
You needed
But
this VHS tape.
I did I did watch it a few years ago for the first time with you after we went to Disney World. And I rode the ride in Epcot, so it definitely kind of made a little bit more sense of what I was seeing.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
as she was saying, this is the inspiration for the, in my opinion, must-do attraction in the Epcot Pavilion
In Mexico.
in Mexico. Except for when you're trying to ride every attraction or you're trying to ride an attraction in every park in the same day, and you find out that the line is wrapped around the building, so you have to run away from it. That was not the easiest day. So, to jump into this, we are introduced again to Donald Duck, his friend Jose Carioca, and we meet Panchito Pistoles for the first time, which is the Three Caballeros. You ready to go ahead and dive in?
Sure.
All right. So again, as you mentioned, the film is based around, we're celebrating Donald's birthday, which we find out is February the 13th. And this is actually the 10th anniversary of his birthday. So judging by the year, he was born in 1935. So Friday the 13th of 1935. So he receives a giant box with various gifts. And each one of them brings us on various Latin America adventures, simultaneously celebrating the beautiful countries and the cultures.
It is a mixture of animation and live action.
So the first gift is an old-fashioned video projector with a film about various birds. We come across my dear friend Pablo the Penguin, who I mentioned earlier, was full of nostalgia. So I know that I'll let you touch on this, but our friend Pablo here, he just wants to be warm.
Yeah.
He's tired of living in where he's free. Everything's freezing. He lives in an igloo. He's frozen. So he makes plans and begins his adventure to go down to the equator. But all of his ideas either freeze or melt away.
Technically, he's going up to the equator.
True.
Because he starts out at the South Pole.
Yeah. So he's just, everything that he tries is either it freezes or it melts away. We also come across a rainstorm. on his adventure in his floating bathtub. So we are 9 for 9 films for the stressful part being a Disney storm. Hey, we're 9 for 9. We're consistent. But he's determined, and thanks to that trusty bathtub, he finally makes it to luxury.
Mhm.
Beautiful tropical island. I'm talking straight out of the calendar that he had hanging in his igloo.
Mhm.
And then he starts to realize how hot it actually is and begins to dream and miss the cold climate. Thoughts on this?
I feel like you always think the grass is greener on the other side, and this really illustrates that.
I mean, there's no grass in the South Pole.
Yes, but I mean, he went towards the equator thinking that everything was going to be better, but then realized like it also has its downfalls, and there was things that he missed from back home.
He was sweating.
Well, it's his fault.
Um,
He could have been freezing.
it's true. So then we meet the very fun, mischievous troublemaker, who, in my opinion, is not utilized enough in Disney merch. Because I'm sure before you watched this, you had no idea who this was, and that's the Arukian bird and his crazy song.
Oh yes, I do enjoy him, and he was very cute.
Troublemaker for sure.
Yeah, for sure. He's cute though.
Yeah.
Colorful.
So he returns throughout the rest of the film for just trouble, stealing cigars, rerouting trains, which was an issue, and just causing issues while he sings his songs.
Did you touch about how like when we opened up the film and Donald's opening up his gifts, one of the things that he does is he watches slides on a slide projector?
Yeah, on an old-fashioned projector.
Yeah, I have vivid memories of like as a kid looking at old family photos on a projector,
Mhm.
and
I mean,
that was kind of cool because I don't know how many people can still do that.
No.
Like they were very old pictures.
I mean, we have a projector in our basement, but it's a much more high.
No, this was like one that like you
high-tech,
literally like put slides in.
Yeah,
so-
which is what Donald had.
yeah, and it really reminded me of that. There was some nostalgia there.
So next on in his story of birds,
Mhm.
we meet a little boy from Uruguay.
Oh, hang on.
Oh.
There was also somebody in that past scene that had Winnie the Pooh's voice.
Really?
Yeah, I think I told you about it when we were watching it. I don't remember which one it was though.
From the scene with the bathtub and the penguin?
I think so, yeah.
Interesting. I did not notice.
I'm gonna have to go back, but I think I mentioned it when we were watching it, and you were like, "Yes, he does a lot of voices."
Well, he does do a lot of voices.
'Cause I was
Even
like,
the guy
"Oh, look,
now
Winnie
does,
the Pooh."
even the guy now does a lot of voices.
Yeah, so okay.
Um,
I just wanted to clarify that in case you like Winnie the Pooh.
somebody likes Winnie the Pooh. I mean, I love him too. So next we have the story of the boy from Uruguay and his flying donkey, the donkey that has the condor
Oh,
wings. I mentioned him earlier too. I love this little adventure. I
Mhm.
recommend it. It's a great short to watch.
Another gaucho story.
Yep. Anything on that one?
I put in my note that Donkey Bird looks like it came straight out of Fantasia.
I mean,
It looks like a little donkey Pegasus.
just causing trouble.
I don't know.
So then we're back with Donald. Donald finished his book on birds, or I'm sorry, his slides on birds. And the next the next gift that he receives is a book. A book of Brazil by Jose. So Jose's back in the picture. The characters shrink down and
Cigar smoking Jose.
Yep.
Cigar smoking Jose.
And the cigar is going to come back again later on.
Mhm.
But
There was a warning at the beginning.
there was for more than just smoking.
Yes.
The characters shrink and they enter the book. They meet the locals. They love to dance the samba. And of course, we are introduced to the long teased, highly inappropriate kiss crazy lady loving Donald. This dude loves the ladies. He'll do anything for the ladies.
I love Donald.
Well, you love him as much as he loves ladies. So
I know, because if he met me, he would love me that much.
I mean, he would definitely try to inappropriately kiss you.
I might try to kiss him back.
So they're kissing and he's trying to kiss and failing, and they're sambaing and they're having a great time, and we're dancing in the street. There's a Disney apple, hopefully not poisonous this time. So
I mean,
anything,
that is definitely his downfall, is trying to kiss the ladies. It does get him in some trouble sometimes.
many movies to come where he's trying to kiss these ladies. Even on the ride in Mexico at Epcot, he's trying to kiss the ladies.
Even in what do you call it? The Mickey's PhilharMagic, he tries to kiss Ariel and misses and kisses the electric eel.
Spoilers. Okay.
Sorry.
I'm just kidding. But yeah, so he loves to kiss the ladies.
Mm.
There's also another notable section of this book, the animated short of like the Mexican Christmas tradition,
Mhm,
where the little children are looking for shelter.
mhm.
Do you remember anything about that? I mean, it was beautifully like drawn, but I don't know, it was kind of weird. It just like cuts to this Christmas tradition of literally looking for shelter.
Yeah, they were just like going over the tradition of it, and I did think it was kind of weird how they just inserted it, but
Hey.
it was an interesting tradition.
Yeah, so they go door to door
Mhm.
trying to find shelter until somebody lets them in. So
Mhm.
then we leave the book. And then we're on to, well, first off, they have to use a little bit of magic to become full size again.
Mhm.
And then we open the next gift, which I believe is the last gift.
Well, back with Jose, I had in my notes that I was like, for the time, I thought it was very advanced how they were able to mesh the live action with the animation at the same time. Like how like the lady is actually able to dance with Donald, and how like
Avoid kisses.
yeah, and how they're able to like fly over things, and
Yeah, so
just the way they were able to
they
combine that, I thought was kind of high tech for the
this
time.
next section too, they fly on like the magic carpet, and
Mhm.
like it's like through the
To the
actual
beach and stuff.
through
In
the actual
Mexico,
live action.
we then go down from Brazil, we go over to Mexico.
That's right. So then we're back. We leave the book, and with a little bit of magic, they return back to full size, and then we're able to open
Mhm.
the next gift, and that's where we meet Panchito, Panchito Pistoles, which is the final of the three Caballeros.
He's
Uh,
a rooster.
I didn't know that.
Well, I said that because I didn't know that either, and I discovered he was a rooster. Because I was like, what kind of bird is he? Doesn't look like any rooster I've ever seen.
Well, he he gives Donald
He
the
was one of my favorites, though. I will say that.
yeah, he's fun.
I enjoy it.
He gives Donald the pinata,
Hmm.
which is also a part of the Epcot attraction.
Mhm.
They celebrate, they dance, they break open the pinata,
Hmm.
and they light off the fireworks.
Another storybook animation.
Is this?
I have it in my notes. There was another storybook animation during that part.
Yeah, so they light off the fireworks, and um, which of course means that Donald gets blown away by the firecracker.
Hmm.
But the firecracker was lit by Jose's cigar, um,
Hmm.
which if you remember the last movie, that cigar was lit by the fire breath of Donald because of how spicy his drink was. You think that the reason that you think that Donald lit his own fireworks? He cost himself because he was trying to kiss the ladies.
Maybe. I don't know.
Or do you think the reason the ladies don't want to kiss him is because he has spicy breath from that drink in the first place?
I think they might not want to kiss him because
He's
he's
a
a
creep.
bird.
And he's a creep. So
He's not a creep. He's an adorable little bird.
so again, Donald gets blown off which is a great way to celebrate your birthday. Gets blown off in the firecracker, and at the end it spells out the end in Spanish and in English. And that's the film pretty much. I love
Yeah.
it. It's nostalgic. Those two scenes, especially.
The dancing scenes, the colors of like the outfits and stuff are very vibrant.
Mhm.
I did have in my notes that I preferred the clothing and the coloring of the outfits in Brazil more so than I did in Mexico.
I can see
But
it
I do
because there
love
was more picture.
Panchito
Yeah,
more than
Jose.
Jose.
You
I
would.
mean,
You
Jose's
would.
good too, but Panchito's just
What
adorable.
about the Arucan bird? and his crazy song.
You know, I might like him a little bit better than Jose too. Jose
Rank-
might be my
Rank
least
all,
favorite
rank
bird.
all four.
So Donald,
Okay.
and then Panchito, and the other bird,
The Arucan bird.
the Arucan bird, and then Jose.
Wild.
How do you rank them?
I mean, Donald's not winning, but that's, I mean, I don't know.
His list is wrong.
I'm not a creepy. I'm not getting kissed by a creepy bird, but so I loved it. It's nostalgic. Even the cover of this VHS is nostalgic to me. Any thoughts on this, or would you like to give us your rating?
I really enjoyed it. You want to guess what I rated it?
Knowing
tell
you,
you?
a 7,
No, I rated it a 9 out
a
of
9
10.
out of 10. I love this movie, and I don't think I would go that high, but it's, go ahead. What did IMDb rate us?
A 6.3 out of 10.
6.3. Any thoughts on it before we dive into our list over here?
I am terrified of birds. Long story. I am terrified of birds, but I really enjoy this movie. They're adorable.
Yeah, and it's a good, like you said, it's a good faith movie, but it's
Yeah.
also like
And then
good
the
movie.
ride at Epcot really does kind of like do the movie justice and like brings it alive, and it has like a nice little atmosphere too. So that's cool.
Yeah, and who knows?
That could, I mean, subconsciously factor into how I rank liking the movie.
Well, you rode the ride before you watched the movie. And who knows how long the ride will last, but it is cute. But ride it unless it's broken down and you have to ride a ride in every park in the same day and then run. So we're gonna float over to our list upon a star over here.
Yeah.
And we're gonna let you go first. We are now on 9 movies, so we are reaching almost the end of this.
So,
Let me hold this for you.
So I got a lot of moving to do. Oh boy, almost erased it. Sorry. Oop. All right, so I am going to put it in at number 2.
She's lowering Fantasia, my friends. She's lowering Fantasia.
Fantasia lacked Donald. It could have stayed in that spot had it had Donald. Okay, well, that works, I guess. All right, so then I've got Dumbo, The Three Caballeros, Fantasia, Saludos Amigos, Bambi, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, The Reluctant Dragon, Pinocchio, and Victory in Air Power.
So I'm going to do a little bit of sliding myself.
Okay.
This will be way easier once we get our 10. I'm going to put it right here. And my top 9 currently is Pinocchio at number 1. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, the movie that started it all, at number 2. Then we have Our Friends in the Three Caballeros in number 3. Then Dumbo, then Bambi, then Saludos Amigos, then The Reluctant Dragon, then Fantasia, then Victory Through Air Power. Anything you'd like to say about this film before we dive into the next little section?
No, it's a cute little film. It's definitely like colorful, vibrant, kind of takes you into some of like the cultural things of like the country.
Does it make you want to visit
The
equator with the penguin?
Not so much the equator. I am very fair skinned and prone to melanoma. So, I don't think I want to visit the equator. Brazil kind of sounds like a nice area, but I think it's kind of a hostile country. So I think that's the only thing that's ever actually kind of made me reluctant to go there. I have visited Mexico and I have visited a beach in Mexico and it is nice. So,
Did John try to kiss you?
I did not see Donald, so I'm gonna have to make another trip and see if I can find him.
So that's creepy. Thank you for watching. Thank you for spreading the word. Thank you for all your messages, your requests to join future episodes.
Yep.
I even got corrected that I found out that gooseberry is actually a real thing that I said was made up in Snow White. So thank you for that. Please remember to subscribe, email, rate, continue to join in on the fun, the YouTube, the Instagram, the Spotify, and the TikTok. Our next episode, we are venturing up to the year 1946 for another package film, which is not on Disney Plus, which is called Make Mine Music. So we'll dive into that next. So again, we'll see you then. Thank you so much.
Thanks for deep diving the magic. Bye.